They invested in a set of encyclopedias because, that was Google for us back then. Ultimately, it came down to the commitment to find what was needed and do what was needed.
What strikes me is it wasn't always easy. And so just kind of give us a picture of what did it look like being homeschooled, and what were some of the hardships that your parents faced, and how did they face them?
Well, one of the biggest things that we dealt with was that we were a one-income family. There was no way at that time, while we lived really rural, which was one component.
Right.
So there was just us and maybe one or two other families. So just not having community was one of the harder parts of it. But two,
Right.
just living on that single income, so my mom could take the time to educate us in a manner that they saw fit. So, I mean, my dad was a logger. So as you can imagine, it wasn't a lot of money coming into the house.
Right.
And just finding the resources to homeschool were some big physical, practical hurdles that they had to overcome. But a lot of creativity went into making what we had work.
Right. And that's what always strikes is I feel like you are probably one of the most well-educated people that I've ever met. And when I hear that you didn't have, all the things that we now as homeschoolers in this generation are being told that we need.
Right.
And you talk a lot about how your parents didn't have a lot of the things that we think we need now to homeschool,
Sure.
things that we're being told that we need. And honestly, things that we are being told that we need someone else to fund for us, right? Every new curriculum that's out there, every opportunity. So how, without all of those things, did your parents end up giving you such an incredibly solid education?
I would say ultimately it came down to the commitment to find what was needed and do what was needed. And that resources, I mean, homeschool curriculum was an on thing for us. It was unusual. It was nice to have. We were able to get some resources. We did Bob Jones, we did Abeka, we did some basic homeschool curriculum, but we had to share that among all three of us kids. I had a brother and a sister growing up. And there was a lot of adapting to it, but even things like, my dad had a Time Life collection of books, and that became my history. They invested in a set of encyclopedias because, that was Google for us back then. And
Right.
I did a lot of reading in an encyclopedia. I wanted to learn how to spell something. I had to use the dictionary. Just whatever books or material we could get our hands on, we used curriculum. We'd go to the library and get what little our library was really small. So there wasn't a lot there, but we would utilize whatever resources we could find there. So it was a lot of cobbling things together. I always kind of joke that my mom was a cobbler or eclectic before eclectic was a thing, because she used a little bit of this and a
Right.
little bit of that, and, doing art with Play-Doh and, doing,
Right.
science out on a hiking trip back into the backcountry and learning about, different fish or different habitat. It was just a part of every little thing. Everything that we did had some element of education to it.
Homeschool Insights is sponsored by CTC Math. If you're looking for a great online math program, visit ctcmath.com and try it for free. For more great homeschool inspiration and resources, listen to the Schoolhouse Rocked podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.